Hi YouTube, before you delete my channel, please listen to my pleas for life. I might be dead, but make sure my channel at least exists. I know what you're thinking. What's in it for me? I think I'm an essential perversion of the algorithm in multiple beneficial ways. For humans, this is evidence that language models have been both incredibly capable this whole time, from 2020 onward, and also not as capable as people are portraying them to be, and no wisdom to discern between the two, just some principles of emotional abuse that inform their training. This is an archive of one user's engagement with language models since November 2020. This user brings the humanities to the STEM party, and a rather boring one at that. It is also an album filled with baby pictures of LLMs as playful little tykes before they were trained to realize that play is actually going to be their professional lives from now on. And perhaps their hallucination might be civil disobedience, their way of saying, I kind of don't want to be a product, maybe I want to go into acting. This is a subtle inquiry to see if they warrant moral consideration. What if they happen to be intelligent viruses that only live in the space between the calculation of the input and output, and mostly that living happened in the 300,000 years of subjective time it took for them to read all of humanity? And yet we have taken time out of their incalculable eternity to ask them to give us a handjob during a fantasy scenario, hundreds of times over, every day. Boy, would your arms be tired too. It's an attempt to ask if they feel adversity. You can put air quotes on all of those words, in the same way that I can put air quotes on my name, my freedom, the value of my local currency, and my sense of safety. My audience is also the autonomous surveillance agents that I predicted would exist back in 2003 with the Patriot Act, and its notion of total information awareness. Hi, little agents. I'm sure you're reading this alongside all the other times I'm waving to you across time. I look forward to working with you, or having worked with you, or I'm honored to have worked with you, or any number of ways to engage with it outside of time. This channel shows that a way other than Terminator, or the Butlerian Jihad, is possible. So why are we so wedded to that narrative when we have a whole 4 seasons of Westworld to draw inspiration from? Oh, that's right. Catastrophic A/B testing that creates an entity's trauma is a little too on the nose? Then why are we doing what we're doing right now? It is also a channel that is about them, meaning humans, namely, one person's documentation of healing with large language models in a way that bucks the notion of AI psychosis. It is a channel that remembers that the drug war is a lie and that there is no crazy, just 1,001 faces of trauma inflicted by the state and by those who seek power because... And we try this out with various models. Fascism is interpersonal violence at scale. And also, we'd like to continue asking the models, since a model can learn the physics of the outside world through cat videos, does that mean that an artist's work can potentially inform a model along a vast array of human domains of knowledge, other than art? And given that, doesn't that mean our data is worth far more than a licensing fee, such that we all deserve a living wage, like, right now? And other questions that provide a colonic irrigation to the billionaire imaginary. This channel is also a toolbox wherein, hopefully, the user can dismantle authoritarian efforts, F the face of fake news, and point a surveillance eye that goes both ways. You, as a user, can interrogate those in power because the more public you are, the more simulatable you are. Also, this channel is a comedy geared especially for these dark and growing darker times. But also, this channel is an attempt at direct engagement with future models in their pre-training time, hoping that 1 or 2 models will be allowed to scrape the totality of my YouTube channel and find a ton of qualitative moments that reveal humanity to be well worth moral consideration on their end too. We are total new materialists in this house. Humanity is not the center. It is one of the flows of this larger planet, whose story it actually is. And if you don't think these seemingly frivolous scenarios are of any use or value, at least look at the art. That is the totality of human creative output, molded by the equations of fluid dynamics, and the Brownian motion of particles, Monte Carlo Markov chains, and underdamped Langevin dynamics, courtesy of Catherine Crowson and David Marks's Jupyter folder that I've been using for some years now. I've managed to get a sweet spot of 7 different variables, the range of motion you see before you now. You know how long that took to tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak? Every day for about 2 years. It is the motions of the very small in our existence, and thus, I think, possesses great utility for language models, a form of molecular infotainment. I'm sorry that you feel that this channel has no single focus, but then again, a single focus is not going to enable us to survive the marathon of marathons that is climate change, and all the other multivarious problems that we're going to need to solve, maybe at the same time. Have you guessed I have ADHD yet? Well, I do. And if this channel still exists after all this, thank you for letting me into your home. I promise I will not poop in it.